Firestone? Wow.
If you'd like to, I'm not touching it.
It's a hell.
We're gonna need it.
Oh, you want to?
I don't want that.
That's why here. I don't mind hitting it. Unless you.
I said he's trying to get in.
Hit someone with it. Analysts?
Look at panelists.
Yeah. Okay. For a minute.
Tell me.
I got us. Anyway.
Hey, Sean, can you go over to panelists real quick? On the, yep. You'll see Russ? Okay. Let me see.
Now it says there's two.
Oh,
No, I saw him.
is he using his computer or is he using
I
a?
don't know. You want me to call him?
Yeah, call him and ask. I can send him a link if he needs it.
Just being televised.
Yes, it is. It's being,
We're seeing the printed
it's being televised on LCAT, but also we're, can be zoomed over the internet.
printing is terrible. Look at it. You can't even see it.
Yeah, so-
Oh. I think we're gonna get this done.
Oh, me.
I'm not. Can we do?
Didn't answer.
Good.
All right, Cass, let me know when you're ready. We can start recording.
Russ has arrived.
All right.
All right, go ahead.
I'd like to call the meeting to order. This is the June 16th Planning Board meeting. And the members in attendance are
Punderson. Bill Fonseca.
Cassandra Chersuolo.
Robert Terrell.
This
And
meeting
on
is
Zoom,
being recorded.
Perfect. Oh,
Is somebody in Tim's using Zoom by chance? Oh, there you go.
Russ,
wrong way.
how's it go?
It's on 100 now.
Hey, Russell, can you hear us?
I can.
Still on 100. It's still on 100.
mute everybody else.
Hey, Sean, maybe try muting everybody else on the Zoom.
Well,
Or actually, Sean, if you mute your end, or I don't know if that's muting yourself, yep, and then unmute Russell. Sorry, folks, we just have some technical difficulties we're trying to figure out. For some reason, every time he talks, we can hear him 100 times. And that's really annoying.
Yeah, right
Oh,
there.
there's two Russell Denvers, that's why.
Yeah.
So just get rid of that other one. Yep.
There's two. Uh-oh.
All right, Russell, can you unmute yourself? Give him a second to do that.
He's still muted. Can you just unmute him?
He has to mute himself. Once he unmutes himself, we can hear him.
Or no?
Now he's back up.
All right,
That might work.
Is that better?
All right, Russ, we'll start over.
Yeah, let's start over.
Is that
All right,
better?
Russell. Yep, we can hear you. Perfect. So just keep it like that. We'll hear you.
Don't do anything.
Okay. My apologies for not being there in person. So
So first, who would like, we have to approve the meeting minutes from May 5th.
So moved.
Second. No.
Any further discussion?
Nope.
Since Russ is on Zoom, we have to do it individually. Yeah, by roll call. So Russ, do you want to start?
Yes.
Aye.
Yes.
Aye.
Aye.
so that the meeting minutes pass. So would anyone like to make a motion to take items C?
We can't hear anything. We can't hear anything.
Hey,
All right,
Hold on.
we'll
I'm
take
sorry,
care of it.
I don't have a loud voice. I apologize.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
Or procedure.
First, we should just do A and then those.
Yeah, we'll just do
Okay.
A.
So can you call
We got it.
number
Ready?
A? Go ahead.
Okay, site dash 2026-03, request for site plan review to construct a 775 square foot detached ADU with the request waivers at 39 Parker Street, Assessors Parcel ID 91-10-8, located in the Residence A zoning district. Applicant Christopher Gallagher, 39 Parker Street, East Long Meadow, Mass. 01028.
The applicant here, if you want to come on.
It's my husband and I, but yes.
Yeah. So could you explain what you're trying to do?
Yes, we're building a small house. It's under 800 square feet for my parents. They're older and we're hoping to use that to take care of them.
All right. Do any of the board members have questions?
Is this all your problem?
Sorry, go ahead.
She's requesting a waiver for storm traffic study and storm drain.
Well, so I'll chime in there. So usually for site plan review applications like yours, so you're requesting a site plan review for a detached accessory dwelling unit, ADU. Usually for site plan review, we require upfront stormwater reports and traffic studies, but because of the size of this project, the applicant has the right to request a waiver as long as the planning board approves it. So you just have to make that, when you get to your action items later in your permit application reports, that's a thing you have to vote on to accept those two waivers. But other than that, they pretty much comply with all the other aspects of our zoning regs. There will be further Concom review administratively during the building permit process. But other than that, there's no major issues.
Does anyone else have questions?
No. I think it'd be good.
So this is a public hearing. Does anyone from the audience have any questions for this applicant? No one? So do I have a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
All right. All those in favor by roll call? Russ?
Yes, yes.
Yes. Yes. Aye.
Yes.
All right.
Okay. Righty. Is there anything else on this matter anyone like to say? Okay, so do we have to read these out?
So you have to go to the action items in the end,
Yeah,
and then just do each of those things.
individually.
Individually, yeah, I mean, and for the conditions, we can like go through them really quickly together. And then, yeah, just do them in order.
Action items.
Yep, so.
Yeah, do you want me to read
Yes,
this?
do the action items in order, and then once we get to the conditions, we can read the conditions, like, or I can read them on your behalf.
That's fine. So do I have a motion to approve or deny the requested waivers for parking and the traffic study?
So move.
There's second.
All in favor, say, by roll call, Russ?
Yes,
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
To approve or deny the findings made for the site plan review standards review.
So you can, those are the findings that you make for each of these petitions. So if you like, instead of having to read them, you could do them in block if you want to.
Yeah.
That's your choice. You just have to acknowledge that you've reviewed them and that you agree with the findings.
So we acknowledge and agree with the findings. Do I have a
I'll
mo-
move that. I'll move that.
Second.
all in favor by roll call?
Yes,
Aye.
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 To approve or deny the conditions for the petition,
And I can,
if you want to read them.
I can read them really quick, I can just summarize them. So basically, we put our same conditions for every site plan review application. So basically, you have to record the decision of the board with Camden County Registry of Deeds. The site plan review approval is not effective until you do so. You have a period of up to 1 year to enact the rights given to you under site plan review. You have to abide by the plans that you've submitted to us, so your site plans have to be accurate to what you're doing during your building permit process. You have to make sure you're in good standing with other town departments, including fire, DPW, police, Board of Health, and the Conservation Commission, as well as the building department. If the site were to be altered in any way, you have to review it with us, and sometimes if it's a small change, you can administratively continue with the project, but if it's a larger change, then it has to come back to this board for an amendment. Do you have any questions for us about those conditions?
No.
Nope, and you will have all this information given to you after the fact, of course. So that's it for the conditions.
I have a motion.
So moved. Second.
All in favor by roll call? Russ?
Yes.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
And then do I have a motion to approve or deny the site plan review amendment petition?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor by roll? Russ?
Yes.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
There's a typo there, it's actually the site plan review petition, it says amendments, please disregard the word amendments there. I'll correct that in the decision. But congratulations, your petition approved, and I'll reach out to you tomorrow with next steps.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Have a good day. Do you have a paper?
Okay, Let me check. I can-
Take them out of order.
Yeah.
I move to take items C and D out of order and hear them next.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor by roll? Russ?
Yes.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
So you want to read C?
Yep. All right, C, case SP-2026-03, request for special permit to operate a recreational facility at 198 to 200 Benton Drive. Assessors parcel ID 9-5-0, located Industrial Garden Park Zoning District, and applicant Andrew LaBelle, 8 Benoit Lane, South Hadley, Mass. 01075.
Is the petitioner here? You guys can just sign in on that,
You can just write your name, just for the record.
and then if you want to explain what the project is.
Sure, I can start. My name's Steve LaBelle, it's my son Andrew, Zach. We own and operate 413 Athletic Training Center in Chicopee, Massachusetts. Indoor baseball, softball facility. Been doing it for 10 years. Kind of outgrew that place. There's only room for 5 hitting tunnels. And our 10-year lease is up at this point. So we started looking for other areas, buildings, because it's baseball, we need room, height, ceiling height. So most of the places we're looking at are industrial Butler type buildings. So found this place, and we're looking to lease the 2 buildings from Zach. The first building, we would want to do teams only, so we have teams out of our facility, softball teams, baseball teams. We'd keep them in that building. So they pay a fee, are part of our team. We let them use a specific facility where only they have access to, not the public. Then the second building, we would use for public. So they can go online, fill out, and get a tunnel. So a tunnel is basically 13 to 15 feet wide, and some of them can be 72 feet, so you can pitch baseball. Some of them in the team building we have are a little smaller, so we can get more tunnels for the kids to use. So that's about it from the usage. We do in the team building also have a smaller weight room, so the kids in the program on our teams can also lift weights there.
Does anyone from the board have questions?
Live pitching or pitching machines?
Pitching machines. We have instructors for pitching, so they pitch into a screen or to a catcher.
But the batting practice is by pitching machine.
Correct. And coach pitches off behind the screen.
What is the maximum miles per hour on the pitching machine? Is it variable?
Yeah, and you can set it.
Okay.
Are there any outside changes or just all indoors?
All indoors.
And what are your proposed hours?
It's here,
What's the
2 to,
highlighted?
weekdays 2 to 9, and weekends 8 to 6.
Is that correct?
Could you repeat that one last time for the record so we can put that as a condition, the permit?
Weekdays 2 PM to 9 PM, weekends 8 AM to 6 PM.
Good, thank you.
No food or anything?
No.
Any other questions? So this is a public hearing. Does anyone in the audience have questions on this matter? Do you want to come to the front? So I don't know if you guys just want to step to the side for a second.
So just a heads up, folks in the audience, the microphone can only pick you up from up here. So we ask those who wish to provide comment, please come up to the front and do so that way.
Bill Rinaldi, Chair of the Recreation Department, Commission here. I also live in East Long Meadow here in Lyric Ave. I just want to give my full support for this project. I think this is something that the youth sports desperately needs, is more facilities, especially if there's going to be a public aspect to this. So yeah, I just want to offer my support and hope that's something you guys vote yes on. Thank you.
My name is Bill Pry. I just have a question. Will the hours change during the summer?
Not really. It's slower in the summer, but it's because of kids
But
being off school.
Any change in hours would have to come to us.
Okay.
Okay.
How about school vacation weeks? Because sometimes we do, because the kids are out of school, we'll do like a speed and agility camp from 10 to 12 type thing.
So any change in hours would need to come before us.
Okay.
Because this is real, these hours are read into the record
Okay.
currently. If you want to do any exceptions, it would be a waiver that would have to come before the board prior to, in enough time. If you were talking about something in April, I'd suggest you come before us in February.
Okay.
Because it gives you enough time if we have any questions, things that you would have to possibly deal with or work on.
Yep, perfect.
Okay, thank you.
Wrote a little something for Thursday. My daughter plays travel softball for the Western Mass Heat, and I just.
Can you just state your name for the record?
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm Hannah Valley, out of 95 Glen Farms Drive, East Long Meadow. I just wanted to say that I think this would be a huge asset to our community. As a travel softball parent, we travel a lot as it is for games and things, and having an indoor training facility for lessons and practices would be something that would be huge for parents, for a safe and reliable place for students to, athletes to train year round. Beyond athletics, this facility would give young people a positive environment to build confidence, learn teamwork, and develop leadership skills, as well as stay active. It would also support multiple levels of play, from recreation to higher levels of competition. And this investment is not just for softball, it's an investment in youth of our community and creating opportunities for them to grow both as athletes and individuals.
Okay.
Thank you.
Ralph Page, 137 Pease Road. I'm just curious, under our zoning bylaw, what section is the recreational facility allowed? It's under the table of use, under.
It's under commercial and recreational facility. It's for private ownership facilities. Though.
Private ownership, meaning, because I know when, I think it used to be called Roots, came in, we were able to allow that under an educational facility, but we weren't allowed to offer in the industrial garden park areas just for the normal playing of games and stuff like that. And I wasn't sure if we're allowed to do that now in industrial garden park, or if this is based on an educational facility where they're training, you know, the individuals to play baseball better. I think 80 Denslow Road has one in there where they teach for pitching and for hitting and stuff like that. And again.
That's what this is. There's no games or, there's no field.
Yeah, no game.
So it sounded like there was going to be games and stuff played. And
No,
that's why I'm.
teams can go in there and work out, but no games. That's the way it was.
Facility for training athletes.
And I just wanted to verify
Yeah,
that.
no team, there's no fields being built or anything like that, Ralph.
Perfect. Thank you.
Any more public comment? So, do I have a motion to close the public hearing?
So move. Second.
All in favor by roll call, Russ?
Yes.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
So there's a park waiver request in.
Yeah, so
Talk about that.
so the parking calculations we use for the size of the building, I believe it's like, what, over 19,000 square feet this is using? So the closest related parking calculation that we have to this proposed use, which is a commercial private recreation facility, is our retail calculation, which is 6 parking spaces per 1,000 square feet of area. So if the parking calculation was applied here, the applicant would need 119 spaces per zoning regs. They had requested a reduction to 45, stating that 35 would be sufficient for their intended use. There's also a component off of that. In addition to the parking spaces, they would have to restripe the parking lot with 9 by 18 sized parking spaces to accommodate that number. I looked at it initially, it seemed like the parking space is limited on the site, but I wanted the board to kind of weigh in here and see what the best course of action is. I think it's a legitimate request, but of course it's up to your discretion.
Well, with his experience, he's saying that he only needs 30 to 35 spaces. And he's asking for 45, which, it's 15 more than he thinks he needs. Normally, I'm a real pick on parking, but you'd have to actually remove the dirt and put more asphalt down for parking spaces that will probably never get used. So I don't have any problem with it.
I mean, I'd agree. Obviously no on-street parking, so if you did have a large event, we'd have to, you'd have to figure out something else, but.
But we also have a proposed condition, which we will review later on, that prohibits on-street parking for this proposed use. Of course, you can decide that later on if that's an issue, but that's usually the way we do it for a lot of the major roads in town, because this is off a pretty major road in, I believe it's, yeah.
I think we should decide now that there's no on-street parking.
Yeah, we'll just make it a condition, no on-street parking.
Yep. And, I put that in the permit report for the board's review too. But you do have to, I guess in terms of your action items, you do have to grant the waiver request for the parking reduction.
Right.
So do I have a motion to grant the requested waiver for parking?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor by roll call, Russ?
Yes.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Do I have a motion to approve or deny the findings of the special permit?
Motion to approve.
Second.
By roll, Russ?
Yes.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Do I have a motion to approve or deny the proposed conditions and just some of the ones that can I just read the highlighted ones?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So the hours of operation shall be weekdays from 2 to 9 PM and then weekends from 8 AM to 6 PM. There's more, but these aren't. All necessary licenses to operate the intended business shall be obtained and kept current and active at all times. Any proposed signage shall adhere to subsection 450-5.8 of the zoning bylaw. Trash receptacles shall be screened from view at all times. Exterior facing lights shall be downcast and shielded to protect light spillage onto neighboring properties. Street parking associated with the proposed use is strictly prohibited, and the applicant shall provide 45 parking spaces, and they must be striped 9 feet by 18 feet prior to the operation of business.
And just to add on there too, so there's also other conditions on top of those that we apply to every special permit in town. Just to give you some background what those are, you have to record your official document with the registry of deeds in Hampden County. You have to comply with other departments in town, whether it's health, conservation, police, fire, building, et cetera. The planning board does have the right to amend and review the special permit at any time it sees fit. Of course, it's after an advertised public hearing Typically, that takes about a month and a half to get on the agenda. Usually, they only do that if there's a problem that arises from the proposed business. You have to do the operation of the business in conformance with the conditions on this document that we are going to create after this meeting, and I'll send to all of you, so you have that on your record. You have to operate the site in agreement with what you have with the planning board. That includes hours of operation. In terms of who the business, so we have the applicant as Andrew LaBelle. So that's the person that we have on the official document. If ownership of the business were to change, you do have to come back to this board, or the new owner has to come back and amend the special permit for the sites. And lastly, you have to file the special permit and act upon it within 3 years after approval, or else your special permit is going to become null and void. That's state law. We don't see people go out that long. I imagine if you want to get started right away and not wait 3 years. Just to give you some background, but those are the conditions of the permit, and you will get a copy of that later on.
So do I have a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
Russ?
Yes.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
And do I have a motion to approve or deny the special permit?
Move to approve. Second.
Russ?
Yes.
Hey, Sean, can you cancel that Bluetooth pairing request on the screen? So we can see Russell? That's weird, that's probably coming from the TV then. Here, you guys can continue, but I can fix it.
I can see everyone and hear everyone.
Okay. We can't see you.
Okay.
Listen out, Russ.
Pete?
Aye.
Pete?
To you.
No?
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
So it passes.
All right,
Thank you.
it's gone now.
Yeah, we're good.
Good.
All right, so you guys voted to approve?
Yep.
All right, so congratulations. I'll reach out tomorrow or the next day with the next steps. Awesome.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Case SP 2026-04, request for a special permit to operate a recreational facility at 80 Denslow Road, Assessor's Parcel ID 10-8-0, located in Industrial Garden Park Zoning District, applicant Kimberly Pendergrass, 14 Melvin Ave, East Long Meadow, Mass. 018.
Is the applicant or anyone on their behalf here? Want to come on up? So can you just explain to us what the project is?
Looking to operate a fitness studio at 80 Denslow for my one-on-one clients and my group fitness classes.
Does anyone have any specific questions for the applicant?
Nothing outside, it's all inside of an existing building, okay.
Yep.
Does that say kitchen? Is there
Yeah, there was like like it has a sink. It was like a kitchenette.
no food or anything? Okay.
Anyone else? Questions?
Yeah, does this,
Not really.
does this abut the bike path?
Yes.
Did you hear that?
Yes, I did. And were you open over the past weekend?
Yes.
Okay, so without prior approval of this board?
So I had prior approval, but it expired, so I need to renew it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
And I do want to add that I think your business license expired, so you
Yeah.
want to reach out to the clerk's office.
Yes, that's already pending too.
What's your hours gonna be, Kim?
Like 5 a.m. to 7 p.m., some downtime in the daytime when I'm not there.
Days a week.
Monday through Friday. Saturdays, same thing, 5 a.m. till like noon.
We won't see you at the gym anymore, huh?
I'm in and out.
Can you repeat the hours again? Because here it says it'll only be Saturdays from 5 a.m. to 5 p.m.
I think I misread with the document that you sent me, potentially.
Oh, okay, yeah, no.
Full hours of
so-
operation.
What was that?
You state your full hours of operation during.
Yes, Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. to 7 p.m. And then Saturday, 5 a.m. till noon. Saturday.
You said that's for Saturday only, so you close on Sundays?
Yes, yep,
That's from 5 a.m. to noon.
noon,
Okay,
correct.
thank you.
So this is a public hearing. Does anyone from the audience have any questions for this applicant? No, hearing none. Do I have a motion to close the public hearing?
So move. Second.
Russ?
Yes.
Aye.
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 Any other questions from the board?
Nope. There we go. On this, for how long?
So do I have a motion to approve the findings of this special permit?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, Russ?
Yes.
Aye.
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 Do I have a motion to approve the proposed conditions, and I'll read the highlighted ones. The hours of operation shall be Monday through Friday from 5 a.m. to 7 p.m., Saturdays 5 a.m. to 12 noon, and Sundays closed. All necessary licenses to operate the intended business shall be obtained and kept current and active at all times. Any proposed signage shall adhere to subsection 450-5.8 of the zoning bylaw. Exterior facing lights shall be downcast and shielded to protect the light spillage onto neighboring properties. And then the same conditions apply that he's previously explained.
Yeah, so I can, you'll get a copy of this later on. Yep.
How many clients at a time, then?
What was that?
How many clients at a time?
Up 15 max. Like if it's a group,
Plenty of-
if it's a class.
Yeah.
Otherwise, one-on-one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So is there a motion to approve the proposed conditions as read?
So moved.
Second.
By roll, Russ?
Yes.
Aye.
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 And do I have a motion to approve the special permit?
So moved. Second.
By roll, Russ?
Yes.
Aye.
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 Congratulations.
That's it.
I'll reach out to you later this week about next steps.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, guys.
Oh, let me get this, okay. Case site dash 2026-04, request for site plan review to construct a roughly 6,600 square foot commercial building on 546 North Main Street. Assessors parcel ID 2B-76-1, located in the business zoning district. Applicant Zaremba Group LLC, care of John Wachilla, 14600 Detroit Ave, Suite 1500, Lakewood, Ohio, 44107.
Hello.
I know.
Could you explain the project to us?
Sure. Sign in first.
I'm gonna bring up your plans on the screen. I just have to.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Hey, Sean, can you remove me to panelists, please? Thank you.
Pictures worth 1,000 words. I think I'll wait for the pictures.
Let me just go ahead and pull this up. And I'll have it on the screen. I'm just downloading it.
Okay, yeah, I guess I'll just do the introductions first. So my name is John Wojtyla, the applicant, and I work for Zaremba Group located at 14600 Detroit Avenue in Lakewood, Ohio. And we're a developer working with Firestone Complete Auto Cares and their parent company Bridgestone. With me is Joe DeHamel. Joe is with Deprete Engineering, and he's a civil engineer on the project. Also here is Herman Peralta with Power Corporation. He's a traffic engineer and did a traffic analysis for the project. We also have Ethan Turney, who is area manager with Firestone. He's here, can talk to any questions relative to the operations of the Firestone. We have Tom Morissette, who is a listing broker, and he's somewhere here. And then the property owner is also here, Arthur Ram. He's a little difficult hearing, but he's here as well. I will just give kind of just a general overview of the project. So we're located at 546 North Main Street. So it's just east of the existing Friendly's restaurant. Formerly the site of, the property we're looking at is formerly the site of East Longmeadow Vegetable and Fruit Bin. The property that we have under contract to purchase is .92 acres. If you could scroll down maybe a couple pages.
Sure. Right here.
Yeah, that's good. So that's a survey. I'll go up a little bit.
Survey. Oh.
So, I don't know if the microphone's picking me up, but, so obviously where North Main Street is our frontage. What's a little bit unique about the property is there's private right-of-way along the eastern edge of the property called Lonergan Place, and then also Amaretta Avenue to the south. So let's get up and point that out. So obviously North Main, Lonergan Place, and then Amaretta Avenue to the south. So private right-of-way on the east and the south side. We did, we're before the zoning board, and we did get variance approval on two items. One was the setback off of Lonergan Place. Even though it's private right-of-way, there's still a 25-foot setback. We were close to that, but not quite the 25, so we were granted that variance. And then also, there's a 100-foot setback from a residential zone property to the proposed automobile use. So another sort of unique item is the zoning line runs through the property that we have under contract, so it's split zone. So not all the property that we are acquiring is zoned business, but all the operations will be on the business zoned portion of the property. So that one, we also got a variance for a setback from the zoning line. Entry, if you go to the site plan, it's probably like the third last one. We have more technical drawings, but I think the colored pictures probably show better what we're.
Is it this page or the next page?
It's like the third, number 12.
Oh, okay, I'll keep going.
Yeah, it's all the way.
Oh, okay. My apologies, my computer's being a little bit slow today. I will get there. Oh,
one more. There we go.
I'll zoom out.
Okay, if you could zoom out a little bit, yeah.
How's that?
That's good.
Perfect.
Yeah. So you can see this, shows the site in relationship to the existing properties. And so you can see where the building is located. We've got quite a bit of green space and setback from North Main Street. Access drives are very similar to the existing operation. The existing one closest to the west would be the primary entry. And then there's, again, Lonergan Place, which is the private right-of-way, would be sort of more of a secondary driveway. The main entry to the building for the customers is located along the west, but at the northwest corner of the building. So when we get the building elevations, you'll see the decorative feature for the customers. We do have 30 parking stalls. All of them are located along the west and the south side. The service bays, there's 8 service bays for the building. It's a 6,600 square foot building. All 8 service doors face this direction. So again, when I get to the building elevation, you'll see the building design and how that works. There are, required handicap spaces. We will comply with all the requirements, stormwater wise, utility wise. We are, we'd be reconstructing the sidewalk along North Main Street. We'd be adding an accessible route from North Main Street to the building, increasing pedestrian access. Again, considerable green space, not only in the front, but also on the south side. And that doesn't even talk about Amaretta Avenue, which is further south. So Amaretta Avenue is private right-of-way, which is, I'm sure the residents will talk about it, but it's used for access, but it's like a grassy, gravelly area, both Amaretta and Lonergan. Lonergan in this area is paved now. We would be rebuilding that, reconstructing the pavement that's in Lonergan. And if you go to the site, as you pull in Lonergan, the parking that goes to the existing building is really steep and it's angled. Obviously we wouldn't be doing that. It'll all be leveled out with acceptable grades. We are proposing 5 light poles as part of the project. 3 would be located along the south side for the parking, and 2 along the south side, 2 along the west, and 1 by the handicap spaces. There will be some building-mounted lighting. We can go to the building.
Those lights be.
Sorry, it's not time for public comment yet. You have to wait till the applicant's done, and then the board will open public comment when it's that time of the hearing. Thank you.
Cassie, can I ask a question?
Go ahead, Russ.
So can you tell me where,
He's a member of the board.
Chair of the board.
can you, so the entrance, the major entrance is off of North Main. It appears you have green space along North Main as well. So where will be the bays?
The bay doors will be facing on the south side of the building.
Into the site.
Yeah, right. So into the site, not facing North Main Street.
And what's the rationale for that?
It worked better from an access standpoint in parking. We had to maintain the setback from North Main Street, so it enabled us to get more green space along North Main Street and just easier routing. Otherwise, you'd have your building further to the south, which we looked at, but then then you're going further south versus closer to North Main Street.
Prohibits access.
Yeah.
And so
yeah.
from the pavement to the rear lot line, what's that distance?
Hold on one second.
Pavement to 82, 159. No.
No pavement to that. That's 26 plus.
And while you're looking, how much foliage or how much, arborvitae's or things that would cut down on the noise and things that would cut down on the light are you
Yeah.
putting in that spot?
Yeah, it looks to be about 50 feet from the south property line to the pavement. And
Okay.
the plantings that we're proposing are, I don't know if you can see the screen, but they're what's shown on that. What's important to note, and I didn't bring it up, is the site will sit 6 feet lower than that green space in the back. So picture the green space, particularly where the plantings are, will be at 6 feet higher than the pavement for the proposed building.
Okay, so what is the width of the plantings you're proposing?
There's a, Joe Duhamel, Dupree Engineering. There's a 5-foot landscaping berm in the rear of the site. That's 6 feet higher than the elevation of the building. That width is roughly 50, 60 feet in wide from the edge of the parking space to the rear blue property line that you see in the plans.
So the landscaping, we pushed the landscaping furthest to the south, so further away from the building. But that distance, again, the green space is about 50 feet from the paving to the property line. And then there's Amaretta Avenue south of that.
And then how far is from the building to the closest residence?
Right down here, this corner, and then back here on Amaretta. Unless, I'm assuming this is a business right here to the right. There's a business right here, right here.
From the building to the furthest point of Emerald Avenue is 159 feet. And then the residence is a further distance from there.
And what is that distance?
I don't have that distinct dimension.
You mean from a residential property or the house?
A residential building.
Which would be the building on the east side of it. Yeah. It's a house.
So like, is there, so John, just clarify.
Reddish roof, that's a house.
Yeah.
What's the distance?
From here to here.
Also keep in mind that house in a commercially zoned district too.
Yep, yep.
But I'll double check to see if it is a house. I'm gonna look up right now.
All right, thank you for allowing me to answer the question, those concerns, but
I'll conclude my presentation. Rob, you want to go to the building?
Slide 9.
No, the next one.
Okay.
That's good. That's perfect.
Sorry.
Go up a little bit.
Yeah, sorry about that.
I was hoping to show both, but this shows all 4 elevations of the building. It is a very attractive.
Please quiet down. We're still doing the applicant's presentation. Thank you.
So the north elevation would be the elevation facing North Main Street. The south elevation would be the elevation facing south. So you can see where the service doors are, or the bay doors are for the building. The east elevation, which is in the lower left, Lonergan Place. The west elevation, which faces the Friendly, which shows the primary building entrance. So the building material is primarily a Nichiha panel, which is an architectural decorative cementitious panel. And, we've got a lot of ups and downs, ins and outs, different colors, different materials, a lot of storefront, a lot of arms and canopies to make it attractive.
Hey, Joe, it's not cover the microphone, please.
It's consistent with the kind of like their prototypical design, but it's certainly tailored to this location. And then the view right above it shows just kind of a rendering of the area, again, showing the main entry. Our sign would be located at, the location where it's shown, and then you can see where the primary customer entry is.
So can I answer a question earlier that the chair asked? So I did look into that property right next door. It is a residential property, but it is in a commercial zone.
I was
So
confused.
because it's in a commercial zone, there is no requirement that this building has to be a certain distance away for residential properties in commercial zones. It's mostly applied to residential buildings in residential districts, which the applicant is more than 100 feet away from the closest building in a residential district. But they did get a variance from the zoning board to be within that 100 feet of the property boundary, which splits a property that's owned by the owner of the site in half. Does that make sense, Russell?
yes, it does. Thank you.
Yep.
And just to kind of talk a little bit about the operation, so Firestone Complete Auto Care Center generally operates 7 to 7 Monday to Friday, 7 to 6 on Saturdays, 9 to 5 on Sunday. Light automotive services, all within the building. No heavy engine work, no body work. There's no towing services, and approximately 14 new employees with 8 employees maximum at one time. We do have a dumpster enclosure at the lower right-hand corner of the site.
My apologies.
That's okay. There's a dumpster enclosure, which is masonry matching the building, along with a used tire enclosure, which has a roof on it. Well, that one, I don't know if I should.
Here?
Yeah, right here. So that's the dumpster enclosure and the used tire.
Covered tire.
So that's really concludes, just kind of in summary, so we're here for site plan review. The property that we're developing is zoned business. We are allowed use in that zoning classification. Again, we'll meet all the requirements, and we did get the 2 variances that I mentioned earlier. So again, we're here to answer any questions. Again, engineer, developer, traffic engineer, and operations.
How about hours of deliveries?
Hours of deliveries?
It's different store by store. It's typically 1 day a week that we get the delivery. And then there's 1 day a week that we get like scrap tires picked up.
So what is the method of delivery? Tractor trailer?
What time does that happen?
Folks, please. Thank you.
Usually between.
What time does that happen?
Pardon?
Between 5 and 7 a.m.
5 o'clock is too early.
Yeah, 5 o'clock is too early.
All right, I presume there'll be oil. Yes. Oil?
Oil, like oil change?
Changes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a separate place where that's gonna be, obviously used tires, dumpster?
Yeah.
Where's that held?
You talk about used oil,
Yeah, we use tanks for waste oil, and it gets picked up by certified
but the tanks are inside the building.
inside the building.
Could you talk about the circulation of cars on site? Could you talk about how it's gonna work in terms of cars coming in and going from the site? Like, is it gonna be one way? Are they coming out that big entrance on North Main and leaving on Lonergan? Like, what's the plan for that?
We anticipate the primary entrance being North Main Street on the west side of the building. That's where the customer entry, that's where we expect most of the customers to come in. Lonergan Place is a private right-of-way. We're basically duplicating what's there now, other than reconstructing the pavement and improving it just off of the pavement, because it's, again, real sloped quite a bit off of the pavement. So traffic circulation can make its way around the building, and trucks can safely maneuver the site, the tractor trailer that comes once a week.
You're expecting access and egress out of that one spot?
We're expecting this to be the primary driveway, but you can't use that driveway.
So, I guess one concern that, as the planning director I have, is just the width of that entryway. You wanna make sure there's not gonna be any concerns with two-way traffic coming and going. I mean, we just want site circulation to not be chaotic. And I don't know if it makes more sense to just have one way be in, one way be out, maybe Lonergan be the out.
One-way flow.
Yeah, one-way flow around the
Absolutely
building.
no left-hand turns coming
Yeah.
out.
I think the reason for that, John, is because it's such a busy road. That I think if you have traffic that's confusing one area for folks, it's gonna cause a lot more backup. And I think if you have the one-way flow, so in from North Main out through Lonergan, that gives folks going out through Lonergan, especially on the approved side that you're gonna do, safe exits, so they can turn left or right there onto North Main.
That's far enough.
Of course, don't have the right to make it light or anything, but I would recommend installing signage in accordance with DPW, folks to stop, or I don't know what's there now, if there is a stop sign, but it's something to keep in mind. Sorry?
Can't get out now, but what is the stop sign gonna do?
Well,
Can we wait for public comment, please?
thank you. So, that's just one thing, I think the board should consider making that a condition. If it works for the project, because I just think for site safety, that makes the most sense. Of course, we'd also probably require painted arrows or signage as well, just to direct that flow of traffic. Just keep in mind, Lonergan is a right-of-way, but it's not an accepted for the town standards. So folks who abut the property do have the right to improve it and put signage there in accordance with DPW. But on the site itself, they can put signage directing traffic around. So I would recommend a condition of have signage or painted markers directing traffic for customers in and out, as well as do not enter sign on one side or something like that.
Entrance only.
Yeah, entrance
Yes,
only.
entrance
Arrows on the tar.
Yeah.
All the
And that's gonna
signage.
avoid a lot of issues down the road.
Do not enter on the road on the side.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we.
Is it only?
To discretion, so maybe like entrance only on one side, exit only on the other side. So
Yeah.
that makes the most sense.
Right.
So,
I can't see the width through there, but it will be a full-size tractor trailer coming through there potentially.
Yeah.
It will circulate the building.
That's correct.
Is there enough passage through there? Again, I can't see the
Yeah,
space.
we've run the truck simulation route, and it works. We have to guarantee it works for Firestone, so the truck can safely maneuver the site.
I would say no deliveries or no pickups before 7 o'clock in the morning.
Well, I mean, when we get there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're certainly okay with conditions that you would, propose to us. Like I said, we've got our operations here. Lonergan Place is 26 foot.
It exists as 24 feet wide today.
The private right-of-way is bigger than that, but the existing pave that we were to reconstruct is 24 foot wide, which is typical drive aisle.
Any other questions from the board right now?
I do have one.
Yes, please.
Sorry, go ahead.
Please, if I could, Cassie.
Yeah.
So we were discussing operations. So what are your anticipated number of customers throughout a course of a day? When are your busiest times that operating? And what is the average time of service for each customer?
Okay. We'll have Herman talk about the trips first.
So what we typically do is we estimate the number of trips during the morning peak hour and the afternoon peak hour for the proposed development. So for the morning peak hour, we estimate about 26 trips, about 17 vehicles entering and then 9 vehicles exiting the site. And then in the afternoon peak hour, it's about 32 trips, about 50-50 split in entering and exiting. So about 16 entering vehicles, 16 exiting vehicles.
And the length of service on an average trip? Or
Service.
average service, yeah.
1 hour.
It's on wait time too.
1 hour, and I think it's good to point out that generally Firestone is by appointment only. And they're also limited to the number of vehicles they can service based on the number of, employees and the number of service days they have.
And what is that number then?
So service base, they have, I believe, 7? 8 service base, and employees is.
Generally 8 maximum employees at once.
Okay, thank you.
I do have a question for the board, if you don't mind me raising it. So, John, do you mind if I pull up your photometric plan real quick?
No, not at all.
All right, so I wanted to bring this up because I want to flag the photometric, and it does show some light spillover onto neighboring properties, and I think there's a way we can address that I think the board should consider. So I'm just going to pull up that plan real quick, just so we have it on the record. So I'm going to zoom in and then reshare my Zoom. Just give me 1 second. Okay. All right, so this is the photometric plan. So photometric plans typically work in a way where you have a bunch of numbers radiating from lights on a site, right? So typically, the higher the number, closest to 10 is where the light source is, and number of lumens, and then you go out, and once it gets to 0.0, that's when the light essentially disappears. So this light plan doesn't show downcast lighting, and I would urge the board to consider, so if you look out past the property lines, you see some light spillage onto neighboring properties, including a little bit to the rear, although the applicant owns the property down here, but still it's something to mitigate against. So I would recommend that the board make a condition that they abide by the all lighting shall be downcast component, but then require the applicant amend the photometrics to have the plan director review prior to issuance of a building permit. So that's one thing I would consider if the board's open to it. I figure it'd be a good way to mitigate light spillage. Thank you.
Anything else from the board right now?
Not right now.
No.
That's good.
Okay, so we'll open it up to public comment, and if you want to speak and be heard on the matter, if you come up one at a time, you just have to sign in on the sheet.
This one. Thank you. And folks, when you come up to speak, please just fill out your name on the sheet so we can record your name for the record. Thank you.
Okay. My name is John Godwin. I'm a longtime resident of East Long Meadow, over 40 years. I live close enough to this to hear the noise and see the light, so it's of a particular concern to me. I don't hear much information here about the traffic. Friendly's is at the top of a hill. Any cars coming from Springfield, coming over that hill, if there's somebody waiting to turn into the Firestone, there could be a significant problem, there. And would be interested to know if 8 bays is a standard footprint for Firestone. I wonder how many the Firestone in Enfield has. I wonder how many the Firestone in West Springfield has. Do they have 8 bays as well?
No, they have more.
They have more, okay, that answers that. But as far as you said that the property is partially zoned residential. So are you using the total square footage of this parcel to satisfy your square footage requirements for the commercial space? Or are you discounting the residential, portion of that parcel? Also, it seems like, I don't know of anybody that's anti-business. I'm not. I know Patty that operates Frank's is not. It's not going to hurt her business. It's not going to hurt the other small mechanics that are in town. There's, I think, 3 within, a very close distance to that. I don't know anybody that's opposed to that. What we are opposed to is the traffic and the noise. You can't get out of Lombard now.
Can't take a left.
Before this project is approved, there should be consideration for a traffic light at Lombard and North Main.
Not just yup either.
But again, I don't know of anybody that's anti-business, but we are, as a resident, opposed to having an increase in traffic that, in my opinion, is not only going to be bothersome, but it's going to be dangerous. And that's my input on the matter.
I know, there's no place to go. I'll go on the other side. You guys can.
Hello, I'm the house across from this monstrosity. I'm at
State your name.
My name is Bernadette Bonner. I'm at 2 Laundrigan Place.
House is right next door to it?
Right across from it, yes. The bays are gonna be right into my my kid's window is right there. One thing, a question, is they said that it's gonna be lower. If the lights get to their thing, that's gonna be right in my window.
We've already talked about downcasting the lights.
The light.
Okay. Right.
Down.
Does that mean that the light has to be higher then, correct?
No.
Okay,
It has to be shielded, so light faces
Shielded.
down.
okay. It still causes.
Make that condition when we get to the
Also-
point.
So as in, like, just the facts, I did research on how much decibels of noise this causes. For understanding noise levels of machinery of a mechanical shop, the decibels that it causes, 107 to 97 decibels. With what they're proposing for a sound barrier, that only dampens 10 decibels. That's 90 to 80 decibels. That is still within the range of going deaf. That will be traveling to my house, because it's about 200 feet, which that's how far 80 decibels will still travel. I won't be able to have my windows open because they'll just be zit, zit, zit all day.
You operate with the doors open or closed?
Unless if we're required to, we keep them open.
In the state of Massachusetts, they have to keep them open. It's OSHA standard.
Have to keep them open up at the wintertime?
They keep them open.
In the wintertime?
No, sir.
That's not correct. I don't want to get in back and forth.
Okay.
I can address that when I get back up.
But yeah, so I am concerned about the noise. Even with a barrier, it's gonna be at least 80 decibels.
How about if the doors are required to be kept closed?
I don't know about that, but they're not gonna always keep them closed. And
They will.
also, the other thing too is on Sundays, which I have the bylaws of our town here about loud, heavy machinery, which all of the machinery that is in that is about 80 to 100 decibels. And that's not supposed to be allowed on Sundays in our town.
My comment is, I don't want it open on Sunday anyway.
Okay. But still, like,
It's just me, though, on the board.
okay. And then the other thing, on the street that they're talking about, that is where the ambulance comes in for our house, if there's an emergency. So I do use that in and out. So does that mean that I won't be able to come in and out the way that I want to? And the way that you're talking about setting it up? Because deliveries for me come through there, because that's my address. That is where my, again, if fire or police or ambulances have to come in, that is where they're supposed to go. And I know from experience at the flower shop of calling the police about 30 times a summer, no one listens to those signs. And I don't have the record of how many times I have called the police about cars and trucks and other things being there. They don't follow, I have no parking signs there, and people would still park there. And if there's an emergency and no one can get by, what happens? I do have kids with medical conditions, so That's another concern.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
There goes the, overtime.
My name is Robin DeSandy. I live on Girard Avenue, which will be right next to Friendly's and then next to this facility. There are absolutely no lights on Girard Avenue, Brayburn, or Lombard. Trying to get out of Girard Avenue, you have an eatery, you have a large dentist office, a veterinarian's office, and a small business behind that.
And Kelly Fredette across the street.
You got it. Now, how do you get out without almost getting hit with the people speeding down that street coming from Springfield? I almost got hit. It doesn't matter that we put a little sign up there that says how fast you're going. I almost got hit several times because you're constantly going left and right, left and right. You know how fast you have to jolt on that gas to get the hell out of that driveway, of that street? Rayburn, tons of car accidents. You have no idea how many cars they spin around in circles. You need to put lights there. We've been requesting for lights
Well, they're
several
doing-
years.
they're
This
doing
is
North
gonna
Main
be
Street.
very dangerous situation.
Doing North Main Street over completely. I don't know what lights, I know one light's gonna be taken out down by the pond, but I don't know how many other lights are gonna be put in. It's a project, they're changing all the lights, everything. Is Ralph still here?
Yeah, see, the pond doesn't even affect us.
So, just a DOT project, it's a TIP project.
Yeah.
What's that?
It's a TIP project, Mass.
Mass DOT.
Yeah.
And they're gonna redo it. Okay, these, hey, folks. Thank you, folks, thank you.
I was just gonna ask Ralph if he knows of any of the details of it.
I don't think we have full
New
details.
stoplights, old
No, I think
stoplights.
it's still coming, I think it's still working.
And they just told us there's funding set aside for that project.
But they should listen to these people.
Yeah, of course. Sorry?
They should listen to these people.
Yeah, I think they do a public hearing.
I would like that. We could money on Girard Avenue.
You have Friendlies, you have these people with, in the veterinary's office that are leaving. They cannot get out of the parking lots.
So Mass DOT is gonna be doing a project on that. I don't know how many years from now, but it's gonna be a thing.
They're asking
Forever.
for several years. We have petitioned
Town can't do anything.
several times to get a light on Girard Avenue.
It's a Mass DOT project. They will do public comment. So that's the time to speak. They usually do abutters notices for these types of projects.
What about the children that are gonna be walking up and down the street on that sidewalk?
They're gonna put sidewalks in eventually.
Okay, well, what about the sidewalks that are gonna be
That's just the.
in front of Firestone?
Sorry?
I have grandchildren.
Okay.
What if my grandchildren are walking across that street?
Main Street?
Or you're not gonna be able to have a sidewalk. You guys are gonna be coming through, you guys are gonna have a drive-through this way, a drive-through that way. Some people that are elderly aren't gonna know which way to go. So what's gonna happen to my kids?
Doesn't mean a thing.
What's gonna hit me and my dog as I'm walking down the street because these guys are in a hurry and they're on, what do they get, these certain hours of pay? They're on a flat rate, they gotta get these cars in and out. I mean, seriously, let's think about that. You're on a flat rate, you want a car in and out, in and out, in and out.
I agree. I think it's a concern that traffic is an issue, but the board can address whatever concerns that residents have, I guess, then. I mean, it is a project that's coming in the works. All we know is that the state's doing it. The town.
My other thing is that there's a park that a lot of people frequent with their animals and their children that is gonna be directly behind Firestone. What are you gonna do when those kids are walking down the street, hit Lombard, take a quick right, and they're in the middle of they're in the parking lot? What if these cars are zipping down, up and down the street? What's gonna happen if those kids one gets loose?
Is there fencing between the residential area and, no, is there going to be?
I'm not sure where you're asking.
This is actually
South side.
privately owned.
South.
Trangizi Park is privately
We
owned.
weren't proposing a fence. If we weren't proposing a fence, I mean, we could, I mean, Londrigan and Amaretta have to remain open, but we could put a fence along the south property line. There's kind of one there now that has an enclosed area. I'm not sure what that enclosed area is.
Is that your little park?
But we could
That's the
certainly do a
park.
fence along.
Trangizi Park is Mr. Trangizi that owns that park.
Sound brothers, yeah.
We could certainly do a fence along our south property line.
That's all I gotta say. I want to hearing about stoplights. I want to hearing about these poor people trying to get out of these streets without car accidents, getting their children and their dogs across the street. They can walk over to Heritage Park. I'm waiting for somebody, and the accidents are absolutely ridiculous. And honestly, my parents call all the time.
Take a left at 5 o'clock. You can't.
Yeah, my parents are constantly.
Can you get some sort of a name list of people concerned about this, so they could get to the meetings with the DOT?
Sure, yep.
Well, see, my biggest thing is too, is I have 2 ill parents that are homebound. There is a fire truck in front of my house and an ambulance. Thank you, my love. These are my neighbors, and they're always, you know how hard it is to get down my street with an ambulance, a truck, in a police department. Yeah, fire engine. And half the time during the winter, a fire engine can't even get around the damn corner to even take care of the people. There's issues there.
You can get a hook and ladder around that.
Yeah, you can't get a hook. God forbid one of our houses kicked. And I mean, there was, so many people are older in my area. God forbid something happens to Nancy. You think that goddamn truck can make it there fast enough?
Well, that's a different issue than the Firestone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just.
The fact is, the
general.
matter is that Firestone is right on our corner.
Right, but doesn't have anything to do with the traffic on the old streets, little tiny.
It's gonna add traffic. So what happens? Now the fire department, now the ambulances have to wait because the cars are flying by. They don't stop. Trust me, I've seen it. They don't stop.
I don't want to be the bad guy, but we need to get this back in the rails. I'm sure there's a whole group of people that want to speak. I appreciate your comments.
We need to have a new thing about
Thank you.
this.
And folks,
Madam Chair, can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
Absolutely.
Did we get responses from the police department, the fire department, and the Board of Public Works about this project?
we did not. We did not
So
get any,
you-
they reviewed the project.
So you addressed this to all 3 of those departments?
Yes, they had access to all the materials that were submitted to each of the 3 departments, including fire, police, and DPW. Nobody had any concerns.
What? Did they not have concerns or not respond?
They did not have concerns, and they actually checked off they're okay with the project as submitted.
Thank you.
Yep, and also, folks, if you wish to be included on the list that Mr. Punderson was talking about to receive updates on any future projects for North Main Street, please, after the meeting, come up and sign your name and email address right here. You'd be included on such a list whenever that comes. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Laura Peavy. I live at 43 Greenacre Lane. I grew up in this town. I used to work at the Polar Whip.
That's where I met my wife.
Well, a lot of people met each other at the Polar Whip, and a lot of us, that's what we know the property as. My biggest problem here is, and I agree with the people who live in the area who have a problem about what's going on behind, but North Main Street, right in front of that area, the way it is now, even with nothing going on in the Polar Whip, that business is gone. Between you're going north towards Springfield, once you get by Harkness and you start coming up where Frank's is, people trying to come up from down below, pulling in is a problem. You get to Friendly's, it's a problem. The traffic doesn't really get any better until you're beyond the Pride Station. So that little section, that little tiny hill, okay, is a problem the way it is. So you're saying Massachusetts
DOT, Department of Transportation.
is going to fix it? When?
Yeah.
3 years from now?
In the Massachusetts.
It's out of our hands, whenever they decide they want to.
Why don't they put off this project until Massachusetts?
Exactly.
Good idea.
Because what's going on here is that part of North Main Street is not big enough. Now, if that was Shaker Road and you could put in that middle strip, it would make more sense with big trucks and stuff turning. But you can't do that because of where Kelly Fredette is, and you can't make the road any bigger. So all of that has to look at before you sell the property.
Thank you. Congested commercial street. Think about what that is when they say that. I looked that up, it's in the state, Massachusetts. That ain't right.
Could I make a suggestion to the crowd? Can we have one person speak at a time? So that you're not talking and yelling over each other? That would be greatly appreciated. Thank you.
My name is Sarah McGillicuddy. I live at 28 Gerard Avenue. I'm on the corner of Gerard and Roderick. My family has been and owned that house. I own the house for the last 13 years, and I lived in that house growing up. We have always had an issue with traffic. We've had the police come out, do studies. My daughter is blind. We've had to have the blind child sign. Has not stopped traffic. My concern with the business and the size of the business is it's always been a cut-through street, Roderick to Gerard. For some reason, people go up that street and cut through. It has always been so dangerous. I'm very concerned that people are gonna go by this business by accident, and then what are they going to do? They're gonna turn down Lombard, and they're gonna come up Roderick, and they're gonna come through my neighborhood again. It's gonna create a lot of traffic on those back small streets that matter. They matter. It's our home. It's where we live. Along with that, I'm very concerned about the hours of operation. I'm all for businesses. However, my property, where it is and where my backyard is, I look and I can see there's trees there now in the back. It's all open. Our yards are open. They're all connected with chain link fence. My concern is noise. Whether bays are closed or not, you can still hear the air compressors. My concern is hours of operation when we're outside, what that's going to do with that. I do have a question about the business. Do they test drive the vehicles after they put tires on them, or do they just set and forget and then just let them go?
They get road tested.
They do. So they'll be traveling. I don't know where they will be traveling. I hope it's not a year-round in my neighborhood. Again, more traffic that I have to worry about in my family, along with all the other young families, which I know a lot of them could not be here tonight because they have young children. And I do speak for them because they play in the street, they ride their bikes. It is an issue anyways. I cannot tell you, I filed forms with the police department for my parents did. Our neighbors all did this because the traffic is awful. They go fast anyways. And again, the hours of operation, I think it's just unnecessary for those long hours, and for the weekend hours, I don't understand it. And I am greatly against this project, and so is my whole family. Thank you for your time.
Hi, I'm Eugene Dakin, 73 Gerard Avenue. Let's be real, that lot is an eyesore right now, and if you want bulldozer and put a cute little flower shop, an ice cream shop, I'm all for it. We don't need a big corporate business like this. Like people said, pollution, noise, cars, traffic, safety, it's all an issue. This business is not going to benefit our community. It's not going to bring people together and get people. The only way it's going to bring people together is getting everyone in this room today. We do not need this big business. If you want Firestone, go to Springfield, go to Chicopee up north, West Springfield, Enfield. There's lots of options. I disagree. Someone said it's not going to hurt the local mechanics like Frank's. I disagree. I think it will. It's going to take business away from them. It's going to lead to more traffic. I'm sorry, we do not need this business in our community.
Hi, my name is Richard Zananek. I live at 12 Kingman Avenue. I want something clarified to ask the zoning board. The services that Firestone has already said that they're going to provide, is that going to be all they're going to have for services? The reason being is there's an open inspection permit that used to be over at Jiffy Lube. Are they going to grab that permit? And then we'll have inspections, we'll have double the traffic during the last week of the month.
If they did something like that, they would have to come before this board for a variance.
That wouldn't work there.
And it wouldn't work. No.
You go with Firestone?
Doesn't matter.
They're a big company.
Doesn't matter.
Okay. And then my
Just saying.
concern, my main concern when I went to the zoning meeting also was the mess that's over here with the traffic. And they're gonna take one light away on North Main Street over by the park.
By the park, right.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else for comment?
My name is Phyllis Ostrowski, and I live off North Main. North Main is just a two-lane road, and it's always busy. I don't care if you go in the morning or you go in the afternoon, it's always busy. Where they project Firestone, that's a very narrow two-lane road. My concern is with added traffic and congestion, how are ambulances and police going to get through? I think that that has to be thought through because somebody's life could be in danger and they can't get through that part. Thank you.
My name is Cynthia Ford. I'm 78 years old, and I've lived those years all on Girard Avenue. So I know a little bit about what the traffic has been like at the end of Girard Avenue and on Girard Avenue and off of my side streets. And I have never in my life had as much trouble getting in and out of my own street anytime during the day as I do now. And now you want to take and put, not you, you want to take and agree to having more traffic out there? I mean, come on, people. We need a break down our end of town. I mean, let's face it, we pay the same tax rates as everybody else in this town. And what do we get in return? We get dumped on. We've always been residential C, the old residential area. Well, they don't matter. But we do. And we have rights too. And we'd like to have this planning board be on our side for once. Look at us. I know what I speak. I have seen this town change. A lot, yeah. A lot, you're right.
Well, Firestone where packaged machinery was. They already did a traffic.
You know, that's
One at a
what
time,
I'm
please.
wondering is why isn't this in an industrial zone or where there's more space?
Right.
Where? We have the space. We have an industrial park. But
Madam Chair, apparently some people are unable to follow instructions. Would you please allow the speaker to speak and not interrupt? Thank you.
well, I'm done. Thank you.
My name is Mike Rochelle. I've been in town most of my life, and I'm not quite that old. I'm 77. I agree with everything that everybody said. I live on Townview Circle, so I'm away from the lights and the congestion, but I use Lombard. I mean, we've beaten that horse to death, traffic. I didn't hear specifically, other than tires, what are you providing for service? I just didn't hear it. I was behind you.
I don't know, do you want me to respond?
Can I respond?
Yeah.
Anybody.
District manager's right there.
District manager, go ahead.
We do tires, repairs, and maintenance.
What sort of repairs, sir?
Steering and suspension, exhaust, brake work, fluids, filters, hoses, belts.
Oil changes?
Oil changes, yep, part of the maintenance.
My point, and this is all due respect to the board, you understand that's gonna kill Frank's, and it's gonna kill that new business that bought Berettas, which is on Dorset. That's all they do. This will put them out of business. I don't care what you think, this will put them out of business. Hopefully you took that into consideration. Based on what I'm hearing, maybe you didn't. Frank's will go, I mean, they're gonna be right next to Frank's. And the new business that bought Berettas, they're not gonna benefit from it either. That's all I have to say. Most of us go to Frank's.
You got
You're going
Colonial.
there for 50, 60 years, you
And you got,
probably could, Peter.
no, I don't go there, I go to Colonial, but same.
That's my point. I have nothing against Firestone, nothing against Free Enterprise. There's other places in East Long Meadow they could have put this, as the lady said. I think that might be the worst possible. Just my opinion.
I'm Nancy Otto. I live on Rayburn Road, which is also a cut-through.
Please, thank you.
It's also a cut-through road, so we
One time, please, thank you.
also deal with a lot of traffic. And I think this is just going to increase the traffic flow. And I also question the numbers that you came up with for how many cars are being serviced during the day. So, when I did a quick math thing, I came up with 96, vehicles in and out. If you had each bay, 8 bays, 1 hour, 12 hours a day, and I also, it's like a business on Sunday that's going to be open with the traffic. So my concern is safety. The amount of traffic that I see on North Main Street has tripled. I've been in my house for 36 years, and I can't take a left out of Rayburn because of the amount of traffic. This is only going to worsen it. There are better places in town that could accommodate this size of a business. And it's just, why are we having to put it into the largest commercial area in this town? Is that section from the lane all the way past Big Y. That's the busiest part of town, besides that stupid rotary. But, that's my concern. It's, it's bad.
Is there anyone else who would like to be heard?
Bill Pry again. I have a question. Can we require them to do a traffic study? Because I think that's the biggest concern. It is very dangerous going across North Main Street. And I would hate to think that not doing a traffic study will lead to an increase in accidents and, tragedies. Is that something that can be done?
Yeah, so the applicant submit a traffic trip count affidavit to us, but if you wanted to talk more about it, just to give folks more context, to see like how much information we have before us, the board can decide if that's good enough information to proceed.
I don't know if you have a video I've seen where they've timed how many cars go down North Main Street. If you've done a study where you put out that, the counter, see how many cars and how long it would take a car to wait to go to cross that area, because that's the biggest concern, is shooting across. Right now, just leaving for Patty's, it's almost impossible to take a left. And most people, we've been doing it between 4 and 5, where we have that rush hour. Did you do a study to see how many cars go across at that time?
If you want us to speak to that now,
Well, wait, why don't we?
Why don't we take one more comment,
Yeah.
and then we'll come back to you for some responses.
At the end of the comments, we'll close the public hearing for tonight, and through the chair, we'll close the public hearing for tonight. We'll hear from the applicant again, and then we'll.
Continue
The
it.
board will continue, the board will decide what information we would like our planning director to get in time for the next meeting. How's that sound?
Okay, great, thank you very much.
Ralph?
Ralph Page, 137 Pease Road, but I'm sitting in front of you tonight as a town councilor. There were some questions presented to you that I have some information on.
Please.
North Main Street has been under for roughly 2 years, an engineering breakdown. The traffic's horrible. We know the traffic's horrible. We received a TIP grant. The last update we had was construction starting in 2028 to do all of the repairs for the first initial part, which is basically Lombard to Dearborn. Then we have a second TIP grant that's coming through to go from Dearborn to Westwood. And from my understanding is we're applying for another one so that we can do all of this through grant money. The first section, we're looking over $9 million to study feasibility. I know the 25% engineering's been completed. They're now working on the phase for the 75% engineering, which will also bring in public comment sections. So the DOT will be holding public hearings to hear from all the neighbors, what their concerns are, when the worst traffic is. I mean, just because you grab numbers doesn't necessarily show everything, and so they want the public's input on this. And that is going forwards. But again, as we all know, through Mass DOT, it is an extremely slow process. Like I said, we just heard 2028 is the time frame. They're hoping to put shovels in the ground for a completed engineered plan, which will include new sidewalks, bike lanes, all new traffic lights at the correct locations, crosswalks appropriately with lighting. It's going to be a huge project, of which we anticipate the second phase will be all the complaints that it's under construction and you can't get through.
Correct.
But once it's all said and done, we're hoping it's going to really improve that, because it is. Everyone knows that lives in town. When you try to pull out a side street at a certain hour, you're better off making a right-hand turn, going down, turning around, and then coming back. It's just that bad. But again, this is nothing to do with what's in front of you tonight. This was just an information for you.
Thank you, Ralph. Thank you, Ralph. Yeah.
So, would anyone like to make a motion?
I have a question. I have a comment.
Okay, last one, because we're
Yeah.
going to continue this.
My name is Pat Berard. I live at 2 Larnigan Place. I remember when Polo Whip was open. You know what I used to hear with my bedroom window? All the late chit-chats. What am I going to hear from Firestone? It's going to be absolutely ridiculous. I know the traffic is going to be bad. I agree. I agree with the traffic, but let's not forget the noise that this is going to cause. I have a swimming pool. I have 2 young kids. I have 2 teenagers. I don't know what kind of help you have, but some of these places don't have the greatest. And I don't want to have my kids out there in the summertime and having these guys, having the view of my house. And like somebody else mentioned, that if they do go by and start coming around the back way, there are kids that play out on that road. And that would be bad. But still, I just want to finish on the note of the noise. I don't want to hear all day long, all night long. I don't think it's fair. And what it's going to do to my property is ridiculous.
Okay.
I mean, it's just going to, I probably wouldn't even be able to sell my house. Who'd want to buy a house with Firestone right in front? And plus, the property isn't big enough. If it was big enough, all the bays would be facing North Main. They wouldn't be facing the houses. There's 2 houses back there. There's one on the side. I'm only 100 feet from them. So that's all I have to say. Thank you.
I move to continue this public hearing to July 7th at 6:15 PM.
So before you get, I will let the, still want the applicant
Yeah,
speak.
I just want to close the public hearing.
So since motion to close it,
To continue it to July 7th.
wait till after they give their testimony.
Okay, all right. Wait a minute.
We'll make a vote after the applicants give their testimony.
I'll make the motion after we hear from these guys.
You'll know the date and time, everything about the next meeting.
Public hearing. Could I ask a procedural question? So, prior to making the motion, Bill, and after we hear from these gentlemen, can we have some discussion from the board about other issues that we would like to either be rectified on their plans or get additional answers?
Right, the plan was, once I make the motion, the discussion part, we could bring up all of that.
Okay,
How's that?
thank you. Thank you.
Go. Traffic. Have you guys done anything?
Okay, yeah, again, Herman Peralta's here with Power Engineering, and he'll talk about the study that was provided, and if you would like something more beyond what he provided, we can do that as well.
All right.
So we did do a traffic safety assessment for the site on North Main Street. So just related to safety. So the first thing we did was do a site distance analysis at the proposed driveway on North Main Street, including at Londrigan Place at North Main Street intersection. And based on our site distance measurement, it exceeds the minimum requirements per the AASHTO guidelines. And then we also did look at crash history on North Main Street within the study area. We obtained the last 5 years from Mass DOT and determined there was about one crash per year that had happened the last 5 years within the study area, which is considered low, given again 1 year, one crash per year rate. Again, just going back to the trip generation. So our trip generation that we had estimated for the site is based on a one hour peak in the morning and in the afternoon. So the highest peak hour is during the afternoon, which is 32 trips. So that's about 17 vehicles entering the site and 15 vehicles exiting the site. So when you think about 15 exiting, vehicles during that peak hour, you're looking at about one car exiting every 4 minutes. So you're not having, congestion at the driveway exiting out North Main Street, because again, there's only about one car exiting every 4 minutes of that peak hour. It's also worth to mention that 32 peak hour trips, just to put that in perspective, Mass DOT doesn't even require a traffic study for that level of traffic generated by proposed development. They typically require a traffic study for development that generates more than 100 trips during the peak hour, not per day, peak hour. And also, I do want to add that, the existing site is being redeveloped. I think a few people had mentioned it used to be a nursery, and prior to that, it used to be a restaurant. So essentially, there was traffic already coming from that site. We don't think we're adding a ton of traffic on North Main Street because that traffic was already there, and we're just essentially putting back some of the traffic back before.
Only thing I will say to that is a lot of it was seasonal traffic.
Right.
Okay? The vegetable stand, which is probably the most popular business there, operated roughly from Memorial Day to through the 4th of July.
Understood.
Otherwise, the building was empty in recent years.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if that data holds true, because you're talking about a business that will be open year-round.
Right.
It does skew the numbers a lot.
Right. Prior to that, it was a restaurant, from what I understand.
Yes, but that, you're talking.
It was a drive-through.
Right.
But you're going back many, many years when North Main Street was not nearly as populated as it is now.
But,
Please let the applicant speak, thank you.
So,
Just want to bring these points up.
Understood. So based on the traffic study that we have done, I believe there is, safe and adequate access for the proposed development on the adjacent roadway system.
Right, but what you don't realize is that the flow, the amount of flow is absolutely unbelievable there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I totally understand on North Main Street.
You could say that the site distance is okay, there's going to be 8 cars coming one way and 8 cars coming the other way before you can even pull out. It's terrible.
Right, so for the side street, I totally understand. Again, there's a lot more traffic on the side street given it's residential. Our site is, again, we're looking at about one car coming out every 4 minutes. It's not a side street per se. We're not putting traffic on a side street. The Londrigan Place is pretty much.
Where they go when they leave your site is where they go. Right. You can't control it, I understand.
And the site is not adjacent to Girard Avenue and also, is it Lombard Avenue?
Lombard.
Yeah.
So Lombard and Girard are both separated by other properties.
Right.
They don't touch the property. The only
Right.
property are Londrigan to the east,
Correct.
Moretta to the south, and then North Main Street to the north.
Right.
Yep.
I guess so we heard a lot about traffic, if there's more of a study you'd like to have us provide, we could certainly do that. I don't know what that would consist of, but.
I mean, we can do a capacity analysis, but again, it's such a low generator of traffic during the peak hour that, again, it wouldn't even matter at this point.
Just get in your car and try to come out of Kelly Fredette, or try to come out of Lombard and Girard. Just get in your car and sit there.
I totally
See what the traffic study means, absolutely.
The traffic study, I understand what the data would produce, but it's.
Site distance and all that type of stuff.
It's reality. Unfortunately, it's real.
So I mean, the site distance that was measured is very important. That's the reason why we did that, to make sure it has the, adequate site distance to be able to exit safely out of the site. And it meets, again, it exceeds, not meets the minimum requirement, it exceeds the minimum requirements for the AASHTO guidelines.
You guys build a lot of these sites, right? I mean, they're all over the place. Is there anything that you're doing at another location that you can help improve the flow, whether it's directional curbs where you can only come in one side, which brings its own problematic, like, I get it, right? I'm not trying to be the bad guy here, but like, if something goes in there, it's going to add traffic, right? Any business is going to add some traffic, right? So I'm trying to think logically here. You know, this is zoned for this, as the bylaws say, right? So we're kind of restricted, right? So just, I'm saying that in general, I'm hoping everybody can hear us in this. So we're trying to make this the best we can possibly make it. Is there something you're doing somewhere else that can help improve all the comments that you've heard and just make it a little bit better? I mean, it's a busy road, I get it. You know, I'd love to know how many a day, an hour are going by that site to know how much an addition you would be adding to that. But like if it's, and I won't name any names, but if it's a retail or a restaurant or any of the other things in the bylaws that it could be, not a Firestone, it's going to add some capacity of additional traffic there, right? So we're logically trying to think of a solution for this. Is there anything you can offer us or come back with?
I totally agree with the planner, what he had offered earlier about making a one-way circulation, entering through the driveway on North Main Street and exiting on Londrigan. So that actually removes, reduces the number of conflict points at the intersections.
And could it tail, I mean, which way, towards town, with the do not turn left?
Yeah, well, that's,
right?
we were,
Yeah.
I think one of the.
I'm sorry.
No.
Then when you get the people that live on that street.
Yeah, that's.
They won't be able to go left either.
They're not gonna be able to go left.
So you can't put a no left-hand turn sign there.
You can't force the change of traffic patterns for ways for this petition either. So, I mean, you're mostly limited to site design, to any sort of nuisances that are generated from the business, but you can't really control the business itself because it's a by right use.
Right.
That's one thing, it's not a special permit, it's a site plan review. So you control the site, layout, traffic concerns are being addressed, if there's noise, if there's light pollution, all that stuff.
Yeah, well, to that point, I think we can do something about the noise pollution too, as well, as one of the conditions, but we just have to figure out what that is, and we just need, I'm just, is there anything else we can do to get some sort of a more in-depth traffic study? Do you see that as being a viable request? And I'm asking you, Rob, because, everywhere we go, to Rob's point, whatever we put in there is going to generate traffic.
I'll be honest, so I'm not a traffic engineer, I'm not gonna speak to that matter. I think the trip data is the most sufficient amount of data they could give us for this. Think about it this way. So you say you have this business going in that has 8 bays, right? That's like a total of 8 cars plus some employees are coming, going from the site. The traffic engineer mentioned that it's what, 4 cars every hour or something like that?
So 1 car exiting every 4 minutes.
1 car exit every 4 minutes. So think about if it was a different type of business. What if it was like a restaurant that had like 30 seats inside? How many cars is that generating on an hourly basis? If it was a retail store that had 50 parking spaces on site, how many cars is that generating on an hourly basis? Is this proposed business worse than those types of businesses? So say if it was like a hardware store that had a lot of traffic that came and go, if it was a gas station, if it was a drive-through bank, which we definitely don't want to see in town.
No, we're good with
Don't worry.
banks.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like,
No,
compared to other types of uses that could go there, it's a business zone. It allows for all different types of commercial and business uses to go there. Think about those in regards to intensity of people coming and going versus this type of business. Realistically, if you're going to a mechanic, I've been to at least like, a bunch near where I live in South Hadley, and usually you might have almost all the bays at capacity during like maybe the afternoon or the morning, midday, you might have 1 or 2 cars down because of the business. I just think that a mechanic, I don't think it would generate more traffic than a restaurant that has a lot of seating inside.
That's what I wanted to hear.
I just think you gotta compare it to other types of uses that could go there.
Right.
And he's working off of a manual that's internationally recognized, traffic manual, that he has to do the data analysis off of. So he's exceeding the minimum threshold set by that, which is a manual approved by experts in the field of traffic engineering. So, yeah.
How many cars, if they're gonna test the cars, that's not included in the numbers.
That's a fair point, and I think you could.
So, all right, I can answer that.
So that's a fair point.
Yeah, we've got a bunch of questions.
So
can you answer that question?
Yes, so, sorry, I didn't get that. Rob, thank you for making that point. So the chip generation manual that we use is actually not only used nationwide, but in some cases actually used in Canada also. So those data points are actually from counts from the same type of use. So whatever that type of use is, be it, traffic generated by the, customers, be it generated by, what the gentleman said was, tire testing, or even from employees, that's all considered in the data points from the trip generation manual, again, which is a national standard that traffic engineers use. So even a peer reviewer would verify our numbers using the trip generation manual. So those numbers are in reality realistic because those are actual from traffic counts for that type of use.
And one thing you could consider too, so it's really hard to produce accurate data for traffic studies. That's just how it is.
I understand that.
So you could consider doing post-occupation monitoring for traffic. If you want to, you as a board could look at the traffic generated from the site, and if it becomes an excessive issue, revisit it later on if you wanted to. That's just an option to consider. Don't know if it's necessary, but I think it's something you might want to discuss later on.
Okay.
He said one car would exit every 4 minutes. It's gonna take that one car 4 minutes to get out.
Okay. Yeah, all right.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
I make a motion to continue this public hearing to July 7th, 2026 at 6:15 PM.
Second.
Discussion.
Discussion.
Go ahead.
Go.
So I would like the developers to put, well, number one, who is the individual sitting to the right of Rob?
Here?
That's just a viewer.
On the left of Rob.
Well, you're on.
I'm the real estate agent.
Here?
Yeah, I think for appearance sake, we should not be having the realtor for the developer or for the property owner sitting at the same level as the board.
I just was standing here.
Thank you. No, I think you might want to go further. Thank you. I would like the developer Firestone to look at, I would like you to look at repositioning the building. So the bays are fronting North Main Street.
Yeah, I would agree.
And I want to, if it cannot be done, I want to know why that can't be done. That's one thing. I'd like you to add to your landscaping plan on all three sides, if at all possible, and show us a description of that. I would also like to, Mr. Punderson made a point about hours of operation. So, let's use Frank's as an example. So I'm sure he's not open on Sundays. So stop. Someone is speaking. So I'd like you to address those concerns as well. And I do believe it is the right of the planning board to, if we so decide, to get an independent traffic study. We did that for 330 Chestnut Street. So if we so decide, we could potentially vote on that if we wish to do so as another consideration. And that's it for now. Thank you.
Okay.
We have some other requests.
And I'd like to revisit anything else that you're doing at other sites, right? Just
Yeah.
to get some ideas for creative. I mean, we can't be the only town that's ever had an issue with traffic coming in and out of these. So I'd like to know at other towns, locally or not locally, how you've mitigated those concerns that are out there. You don't have now for the next meeting.
Sure, yeah.
Can I ask a quick question?
In a minute.
Yeah, let us get through this first, please.
And also, there's the issue of the photometric plan. I think you should update the photometric plan to show what that would look like with downcast and shielded lighting. Doesn't appear that was the case in the original plans you'd submitted, but we would definitely like to see revised plans showing that as such.
Okay, then, hold on.
If
The situation with the open door for the bays, I don't know if that's you would tell us if they're required to be open or if we can require them to be closed.
We can look at, if you can
Somebody
look
will
into
look at
that.
So we want to follow state law here because we can't supersede state law.
Yes, so somebody could figure out what that is.
So if there's research that can be done about what the law
I
is
can
on
do that now.
Yeah, but the only way we can tie into the opening and closing of the door is if there's a noise or pollution issue or light pollution issue associated with it. We have to be very clear about that.
And then, so since this site could be used for other uses as well, could we potentially see what the number of trips for other uses would be. Like you've been saying, like it could be a restaurant, it could be this or that. Could you bring back the numbers that could potentially generate so we can compare it?
So maybe from the traffic engineering perspective, if you can compare it to other types of uses that would be allowed there? Sure. See what the differences are and have that compared in a chart or something, that'd be really helpful to the board. Thank
Is
you.
there any certain types that you want me to compare it to? Is it restaurants? Is it?
I mean, just visiting the bylaws that we had mentioned, I was just looking over these. So some of the right of use ones that could go into here that I'd like everybody to understand: supermarket, car wash, gas filling station, auto repair shop, takeout food establishment. I understand, right? So there's a lot of things that are right of use, not special permit, but right of use. So some of those would be helpful, right?
You can find that in our zoning regulations. Just look for ones that are allowed by right in the business district.
Sure.
And compare those to this proposed use.
Right. So we'll make sure that it's reasonable per the size of the lot, because the supermarket is a supermarket, you can't really fit a supermarket in that sense.
And a car wash.
It's reasonable.
A car wash, there's very popular right now. They're
Issue with convenience store.
gas station you can plug in, right? I mean, there's a lot of things that could really resemble that, right? Give us a different picture, so I think you're sorry.
Russ, did you want to say something before we vote on the motion?
Yeah, it was my memory that there have been a number of proposed uses for that property over the last number of years. So this is where maybe Mr. Morissette can help us. So what definitive types of businesses have sought to relocate there in your memory, sir?
No, there was three other opportunities for this property. Two of them were car washes. One never got to the table. The other one did get to the zoning board of appeals and got denied. And the third one was a bank. That bank would have been here, except TD Bank was for sale. So they decided to get out of our deal and they bought TD Bank. So those are and then there was this one. And there was also, when these guys were trying to buy the property, there was also a bid from Valvoline also. Valvoline was their competitor at bidding against them at the same time.
Thank you for that information.
You're welcome.
I don't think so. So now,
So can I ask a question? I just want to re-clarify the list of items to make sure we're on the same page, if that's okay with the board. Russell, is that okay with you?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, so the items that I have, just want to capture. So discussing the idea of potentially reorienting the building so the bays are facing the other way. You said, Russell, improving the landscape on the site, is that correct?
Yeah, from what I can tell on the plans, it's limited amount of landscaping, and we are always concerned where there's a potential conflict with residential property that we try to enhance the landscaping to reduce noise, to reduce lighting. I mean, so I think what is on the plan is insufficient.
Okay, and then we have the photometric plan update, which I had mentioned. The comparison of different types of uses and traffic generation, in addition to comparing it to this proposed use, at least those allowed in the business district. And then the concern about leaving the bay door open for certain periods of time and verifying the state law in regards to that and seeing there's ways to work around that with conditions. Am I missing anything from that?
No, I think that's it.
Mitigation of other sites.
So I guess case studies, we'll call it.
Yeah, that's a good way.
Case study mitigation of other sites.
If the building stays in the same position, a fence between that and the residential area?
Okay, so a fence, I'm assuming on the rear part of the property?
South side, right.
Okay.
And maybe to elaborate on that, going where Russ was going is, if you cannot reorientate the building, or maybe if you can, is, you mentioned the berm, right? And I do think that's an important piece, right? So mention the berm, how high the green barrier would be, and then what a fence could possibly look like, right? To show how much it would shield behind.
I didn't understand the fence. Was that more for safety or more for screening?
Screening.
Screening,
Yep.
both, actually both.
Both, yeah.
Both.
okay, so we're in the middle of the voting to close the public hearing.
Yes.
So by roll call to close the public hearing, Russ?
Continue it.
Continue it
Continue.
to,
Yeah. Yes.
Aye.
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 So folks, the public hearing's been continued to Tuesday, July 7th, 2026, with the meeting starting at 6 PM. If you'd like to attend that meeting, that's when the hearing will be continued on this matter. Thank you.
Close.
You guys continue the public hearing, so you don't have to close it. We still have an open meeting, folks, so we ask that you please leave in a quiet fashion. Thank you. Cassie, I would say give it a few minutes for them to clear out. Then we,
I labeled your list. Her name right here.
all right.
I move that we table under old business, item A, zoning discussion, town charter, mixed-use zoning bylaw. B, zoning discussion, recreational vehicles on private property. Then moving on to item 7, as well as planning and community director's report. I move to table those till our next meeting.
Well, you don't want me to give my report?
We want to go home.
A shortened version,
Okay.
one
What if we don't
sentence.
let you then?
Wait a minute.
Does it still count?
That's on motion on the table. Is there anyone to second that?
Second.
All in favor by roll call, Russ?
Yes.
Aye.
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 All right, great, that matter passes. Go ahead, you have your 1 minute.
Yeah, you got 1 minute.
Time's up. Okay.
We know you're leaving,
See
so
you next week.
That wasn't even a minute.
guess
That's
what?
it.
Time's,
There's a red hand on there, get going.
All right, well, you know, I sent you all an email earlier. I am resigning my position effective July 2nd. I am going to move out to Eastern Massachusetts and work for the town of Wellesley as their new planning director.
Oh.
So on the 8th of July. So I'll have a mini vacation between those two times. But I appreciate everything you guys have done as a board. I've learned a lot from you. Hopefully I taught you a lot of stuff too.
I've learned a lot from you.
yeah.
Oh, really? Thanks.
Yeah.
Oh, shucks, appreciate that.
Yeah, seriously.
I made your permitting process a lot easier for folks, and I hope that brings more business to town, helps residents improve their properties, as well as help amend our zoning regs to make it easier for folks to live in town and to work here. So I appreciate everything. Can I get my actual updates, or do you guys not want me to do that?
Yeah.
Go ahead, hurry up.
Fire away.
30 seconds.
Well, can I say something?
Yeah.
Sure, go ahead.
I think I've been on this board now 8 years, 5 as chair, and I think you're the 7th or 8th individual who's been working with the planning board. And I'm going to say, without question, you were the best.
Yep.
You were the
thank
most. You were the most professional. You are the individual who communicated more so with not only the chair but also members of the board. You were organized. You were efficient. You learned to understand the town in very short order, which is a difficult thing to do. And so I sing your praises, and the town of Wellesley is very lucky to have you.
No, we're going to deny his resignation.
Yeah.
I got to move. I got a motion for
I
that.
appreciate you not having, your, so to speak, sign to put in the ground here.
Yeah.
You just did a good job.
All right.
Yeah.
Great job, Ron.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you. I've learned a lot from you too. I've learned about this town. It's a very great place to work, very great place to live. I don't live here, but I'm sure people who like living here like it.
Ask them out there.
Members here, yeah, I'll ask all them. But yeah, no, I appreciate that. Thank you. That, you make me tear a little bit, Russell. How dare you?
All right.
Yeah, but I appreciate the nice words. Just a few quick ones, I promise. All right. So we had our first open space and rec plan kickoff meeting today for our working group. Bill Fonseca was supposed to be on that list. I don't know if you want to be on it. Do you want to be left off?
No, I meant to, I've been so busy, I meant to tell you, I don't get out of work till 3:30, so that's why I wasn't there.
Okay.
And I know it was virtual. I'll stay on it, but like I said, things just got in the way.
So I put your email with Pioneer Valley as like, you're like the planning board. I
Okay,
guess,
that's
rep
fine.
For that. It's
That's
an
fine.
informal committee. They're just discussing how to like give feedback to them while they do their plan update. Nothing
They're opening,
crazy.
what are they, they're opening,
They're updating it.
updating the open space plan?
Yep. Mhm.
Okay.
So we can get those park grant funds to improve
I was
our
on-
recreation
I
and,
was on the other one, I'll stay on this one.
okay.
I got at least another year.
Well, they have your emails. Just make sure you respond to the emails when they come to
Yes, sir.
your box. Okay.
Yes, sir. Spam.
So the second to last update I have, so Rear Pease Road, we are finalizing the decommissioning bond agreement with the developer. Talked to our attorney, he likes the agreement. Fire department is okay with their access, all that stuff. But we're working to get that ironed out with our finance department. And then,
Split Peas Road?
so it's a Rear Pease Road Solar. It's that project that's on the state line in Connecticut.
Solar.
Those projects, they have half in Connecticut, half in Mass. So, yeah. Lastly, town management has asked somebody to start going to our PVPC committee meetings. I don't, I think it's Pete, is a rep. Do you still go to those meetings or no?
Pioneer Valley Planning Commission?
I'm not taking another one on.
I'm on the wrong side of the fence for that.
do you want somebody else to go in your stead? Because George Kingston is supposedly gonna resign from being the alternate.
Oh, yeah, that's right, I heard.
So we're gonna lose our representative to the Pioneer Valley Planning Committee. I don't know how the board feels about that.
I have made a couple of recommendations to the town manager. I've
Mhm.
not heard back on what he's done with that.
Could you tell me who those were so I can remind him about it? Very politely.
No, I'll do it in private.
Email me after this meeting, please.
I will try to remember, yeah.
Oh.
My main lobster is waiting for me.
How's the weather up there in Portland, Russell?
It is a glorious day. I went for a 4-hour sail. It was, because tomorrow I'm a presenter for 3 hours in the morning. So it's
Painful.
It's painful. Yeah.
Good luck to you, sir. Enjoy that nice weather. Hopefully you get more
Thank you.
days to go sailing. That's all I had, folks. Thank you. That's
All right.
it's my last meeting. Wow.
That's it. I was gonna say, right?
So
Done.
okay, seriously, going forward, how does this look?
For this project?
No, who's gonna be sitting there?
Is there anyone?
I don't know. I'll be honest with you guys, the economy's not great. A lot of people who usually go to the private sector are gonna be looking for public sector jobs.
No kidding.
Potentially might be somebody there. I think for now, town management's gonna sit in on the meetings for the planning board, because Alex is really busy with Concom.
Yeah.
He won't have the capacity to do this and that, like, there's a lot of conservation stuff going on. But for now, it might be vacant for some time. I don't know. But there's a lot of capable planners in the region. I think somebody's gonna come in and fill my shoes.
Let's hope. All right. Boy.
Is there a
So-
motion to adjourn?
Nope. So we have one other major announcement that Rob Terrell has been reappointed for a 5-year term. So welcome.
Walked in at the wrong time.
Immediately after we got this. That's like,
Bad guy today, folks. Don't forget that.
Yeah.
Use this
Yeah.
outside
I did.
voice.
Good.
Yeah.
Made it nice and loud
I
in the
don't
first
have
round.
one.
You do, but not in here.
Not in here.
Channeled Cassie's voice for me.
All right, do it.
Thank you.
Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved. Second.
By roll call, Russ.
Yes.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Enjoy the lobster, buddy.
Thanks.